In other words, the health professionals, the professors and the teachers and the faculty and the staff and the administration and those PhD carrying, degree holding people, folks, and humans used their freedom to accept the demands from the governments of the world to abolish the land's constitution for the benefit, they say, of planet Earth and civilization. Using paranoia, misdirection, confusion, lying about what's in their books, in their libraries, and being inconspicuous within the masses they support now. And absent-minded when questioned about their tactics and their strategy and their domination objective and goal. I remember seeing this book with this gun to this man's head from the old CIA files called Mind Control. The social warriors and the soldiers of climate change who wear suits and ties and say they're a part of democracy and never have to lose a debate, never are forced to explain their process within the system. They get their prestige from now. University of Washington used to do all these studies with monkeys, rats. From what I read about in newspaper articles and hearsay in the public, and later crows and social interaction they observed and watched and saw. In their tree-filled lawn, next to their fountain spewing water mechanism outside of their medical building for training pediatric physicians. And instead of identifying the success and outcome they got from their work, they figured out how, when, why, who, where, and called Microsoft. They built a computer engineering building to house their equipment. and then said to Google and Facebook and Instagram and all of those other parts, with a little facial recognition and some AI and an algorithm to confuse those who are not unaware, they could stop death and dying and sickness, and in fact predict, enhance, and allow. And nobody would know or raise their hand with their Army and their Navy and their Marines and their Air Force to fund their experimental project for stadiums, baseball teams, and Husky football. And encouraged those with conspiracies to talk to their whispers and to use their ears to find a bed at their western state to rest their bones and skull on a pillow covered in their cotton. Now, what's been chosen has to do with the philosophy and the ideology never defeated. And explaining the takeover and the removal of a place like Tibet and causing so much sadness for South Korea not being able to visit their families from long ago in North Korea. My aunt who left when she was a baby, my professor in college in another place called Iran whose family fled. The burning cinema where Islam said to the government they were more buff and muscular. Helping another person. The practice of health. And the benefit for the hardworking staff, nurse, technician, surgeon, neurologist, psychiatrist, and dentist, doing extractions for the poor who can't afford a filling. People who wear masks now for 8 hours or more with red marks and stretching skin falling from their nose and eyelids from the stress and immensity of disaster. And said to those who would listen to their message and be strong and work towards a plan, they can slowly remove those who they called Americans and patriots and veterans, caretakers and members of the armed forces now. And disregarded the inherent benefit of a government who has sought after the goals and the aspirations and beliefs of the Christians who founded the nation when there were no quantum supercomputers or tablets in their hands. Who had to end slavery with their intellect. And common sense. And have used now the mind to simulate, write code for video games, for cartel members and affiliated color-coded assassins to train and practice their martial arts and elder tribal disgustingness now. Saying that the mind was mental health, the brain was an image, a drawing with a left and a right, with a circuit and cortex, and the body was a BMI, a test, a recommendation, and a gym membership, a hike outside now. Instead, emotions were what the brain and the mind and the mental health needed for success, to keep the body and the behavior relaxed and calm, patient, willing, and clear from disease and disorder and diagnoses and lots more now.